What is Lai Xin doing? Her aura seems different, unless it's her hidden ability, but it seems to not be enough, Jiali said. It could be felt by everyone, the new energy did not seem that strong. On the SIG battlefield, there were too many experts, and energy of this level had appeared throughout the competition numerous times. If this was Lai Xin's trump card, it seemed like she was too naive. After Jiali said her words, she went silent, as she saw Jondi Lilacs' expression, weird. When ancient martial arts came to be, every country was researching, improving, or adjusting, and formed unique martial techniques. Be it Aslan, Arbiter, or Manalasuo, there was one basic principle. The strongest martial technique was of 128 points. Lai Xin, what was she trying to do? Trying to merge sage arts and the life flame technique? What a crazy idea. On the field, Eve Lit could clearly feel and understand what Lai Xin was trying to do. If this was a normal match, she would not care, she would wait for her opponent to finish their preparations, but now, it was a battle, one concerning her country's pride. To wait, or not to wait, Eve Lit faced a dilemma. For herself, she hoped to see what Lai Xin would become, as she had confidence in herself. But in terms of strategy, she should attack, and not wait for Lai Xin to finish. The tremendous energy was continuously absorbed, and this had nothing to do with the flames. Hence, Eve Lit is unable to stop it. At the same time, this was the first time such a weird technique and energy had been seen. Amongst the various techniques, the sage arts were undoubtedly mysterious, focusing on spiritual power level, which complemented the life flame technique. But fusing both techniques was not that simple, and it was incredibly dangerous. Lai Xin was staring death in the eye. The expressions of the Lai family's leaders were solemn. They did not think that this was the right time for Lai Xin to try and break through. They are able to wait. They had been waiting for so long that a few more years would not matter. As members of the Lai family, they knew that there were many things that were left up to fate. Lai Xin had the right to make her own decisions. Today was the day where success or failure was determined. In the midst of yin and yang energy, the small flame was flickering, and it seemed so weak that it would extinguish any moment. This was Lai Xin's fire of life. Bang! Thunder echoed through the sky. Even though not a single cloud could be seen, the sky suddenly darkened, and it seemed like the sky was about to collapse. A solemn atmosphere shrouded the arena, and everyone felt like they were burdened with a heavy weight. Wang Zheng and Achilles looked at each other. This was too much. Be it the primordial regression technique or the heavenly king arts, they were both 128 points. They knew what Lai Xin was trying to do, but was she crazy? This was something unthinkable. It had been a few hundred years, and no one had heard of combining the Lai flame technique and the sage arts. Lai Xin gritted her teeth. Forcefully merging the two techniques was indeed crazy. Due to Wang Zheng, that lunatic in a hole, she had no idea which screw of hers got loose that made her join Saruman's snake. Indeed, she had been greatly influenced by him. This was how much she desired to win this match. The process may just be a process, but she hoped to win, and be a part of the victory. This was Lai Xin's pride. Rumbling, lightning began to strike towards the horizon. It seemed like it was preluding to something. Eve Lit felt that something was wrong and that she should not wait any further. Bang! The two flame whips began to burn with endless flames infused into them, and in the next moment, the flame whips struck. Boom boom, Lai Xin's mech remained motionless. This was a moment of breakthrough. Not to mention move, even a distraction would be disastrous. Lai Xin had to be crazy. Did she think that her opponent would just stand by and watch her? However, the two attacks were deflected by the swirling yin and yang energy, and the energy currents began to shake violently. Lai Xin's body shuddered. As blood flowed from the corner of her mouth, whatever her opponent was trying to do, it made sense. However, the problem was, what was she going to do? Within Lai Xin's body, the two streams of energy showed no hints of fusing. The sage arts were merely at a basic level as the time spent on them was not long, but due to Lai Xin's foundation in the Lai flame technique, she did not face much difficulty. However, she did not have much growth either, and most of the time, she used it to adjust her spiritual power. Spiritual power was Lai Xin's weakness. In this aspect, the sage arts could help in her conditioning, and that was all. Until some time back, a proposal came from the Lai family, stating the plans for the heavenly flame technique, but this was for Lai Xin to mentally prepare herself, take note for her routine training, and gather experience. However, Lai Xin ended up trying to force it now. When would be the best opportunity? Perhaps even till death, she would not encounter such an opportunity. If she wanted to do it, the time was now. Boom, boom, boom. The moment she struck, she attacked with no hesitation, but her opponent's defense seemed to be far greater than what she expected. She could no longer let things continue. As the flame whips continued their attack, the temperature in the arena was rising, and the audience felt the extreme heat. Lai Xin continued gritting her teeth. It would seem like the attacks were not landing on her body, as her focus was on the insides of her body, where the Lai flame technique and the sage arts were shaking, forming a huge energy field. The energy did not belong to her. It was the energy from the violent repulsion between both techniques that were being forced to fuse. The repulsion seemed like it was going to tear Lai Xin apart. But she had to endure it. Eve Lit found the problem as well. If this continued, it would not be good. She had no idea what Lai Xin was trying to achieve, or if it was even possible. But Saruman's snake had made too many risky moves, and she could not let this continue any further. From a distance, endless flame energy flowed into the laser swords, forcibly straightening the whips. If she was unable to break through it, she could only pierce it. The two laser swords pierced through the formless yin-yang energy field. Lai Xin, who was already under tremendous pain, felt her body being pierced by the laser swords. Eve Lit's expression was worse. Before she could feel the joy of piercing through the energy field, she felt the backlash of her attack, and she could not even react. She vomited a mouthful of blood, but Eve Lit was a strong-willed woman. She continued to feed her laser swords with flame energy. Even if it ended in mutual destruction, she would never admit defeat. At this point in time, Lai Xin was drained by the attacks. In a direct confrontation like this, Lai Xin could not be compared to Eve Lit, as Eve Lit was able to hold her ground. Eve Lit directly pierced through and crushed the last bits of strength left in Lai Xin. In this moment, the Lai flame technique and the sage arts felt a sense of danger. The host body was at risk, and the two techniques spent most of their energy fighting each other. The purpose of techniques was to enhance life force, and now that life force was being destroyed, the two streams of energy worked together to fend off the attack. However, a single Lai flame technique or sage art was not a match for Eve Lit. Eve Lit had a look of absolute determination. Although she had just been laid to bed, the resistance she had faced was not as great as she had imagined. It was just putting up a bold front. The sage arts and the Lai flame technique could not stop Eve Lit's pure attack, but she was retreating steadily. But if she retreated further, it would be over for Lai Xin. Just then, two forces suddenly intertwined together, spinning non-stop and blocking. Slowly, the two forces began to fuse together. However, this minor change made the convoluting yin and yang force field spiral even more strongly. It had also made it become clearer. A strong and heavy pressure began to be released. Eve Lit clenched her teeth. The flames were detonating inside endlessly. She had no way to retreat now. She had also felt that something was wrong somewhere. Lai Xin opened her eyes now. Bang! The sage arts and the Lai flame technique had become one. 256 breaths instantly filled her entire body. Eve Lit's endless flames were being absorbed by Lai Xin. Instantly, the flames in the space surged towards the iron armor steel fist mech like 1,000 galloping horses. The azure blue flames suddenly shrouded the mech. Soon, the azure blue flames turned into milky white. However, this had not ended yet. The white of the flames was slowly disappearing, continuously turning lighter. The entire arena was dead silent. Lai Xin looked at the nearly colorless flames at the fist of the mech and threw a punch. Suddenly, a flat tornado. Bang! The night of holy light flew out along with the sound. Everyone's eyes could not catch up with what was happening. In the next instant, the night of holy light had already been glued to the energy protection wall. However, there was a huge hole in the mech's abdominal, only inches away from the cockpit. Completely empty, Eve Lit's face was so pale that it seemed bloodless. Tears began to flow down her cheeks. If it had been the flames of the blazing angel, she could have accepted it, as she was unafraid of them. That highest level of heavenly fire had completely crushed her confidence. Legend had it that only those who possessed the heaven-level fire attribute could reach the forbidden field, heavenly fire. Burning everything, matter, energy and even souls. Bang! The night of holy light fell. Behind it was a gigantic, radiation-enhanced hole. The energy protection wall behind it had also been penetrated. The most horrifying thing was that the melted hole had unexpectedly formed broken layers, and energies were unable to flow into it. This was a complete violation of the law of conventional energy. Even Marshall was speechless. This was the first time he had seen such an amazing sight. The energy protection wall seemed to have been turned into a piece of burnt-through wood. No matter how much energy was being outputted, it was impossible to repair it completely. Was this the legendary heavenly fire that burned everything? This was total bullshit for someone who had just entered Earth rank. This blow was lethal for the Aslan Empire. "What is this thing?" mumbled Sigiali. "If my guess is right, this should be the ultimate heavenly fire, burning everything," commented John D. Lilac with a bitter smile. "Heavenly fire? What is that?" Sigiali asked awkwardly. This was actually the question that countless viewers were asking too. What was this thing? "It's a forbidden power only the heaven rank fighters can control." There was some bitterness in his mouth. Lai Xin could feel the power of her body, especially the gigantic support brought about by the 256 degrees practice that was circulating inside her body. It was completely unimaginable. She had actually achieved it. Lai Xin could not help but raise her arms and roar. Instantaneously, the entire arena was lighted. Saruman's snake had created a miracle once again, winning the second match. Goddess of heavenly fire, Lai Xin. She had never performed well previously. Yet, during the crucial match, she had made a super counterattack by using the ultimate flames. Eve Lit's injuries were not serious, however, for a proud flame wielder, her psychological trauma was the greatest. Someone who was obviously weaker than her could actually use flames that were 2 grades higher than hers. This was really a great blow to her pride. The Aslan people, who had always been known for their talents, were completely dumbfounded. All of a sudden, Saruman's snake had won 2 matches. Following Lai Xin's victory, the commentators from different countries had all become very excited, as if they had taken ecstasy. Everyone was very animated. What could be more exciting than thrashing Aslan? At Arbiter, the commentators from the various major military academies were ecstatic. What did this mean? This meant that the Arbiters were not weak in their battles. It was because they had met Saruman's snake. It would still be a crushing defeat regardless of the opponent, even for Aslan too. If they had met Saruman's snake earlier, they would have faced the same bad luck too. On Mars, everyone was already dancing in celebration. Regardless of the final outcome, the Martians had nothing else to lose. They had witnessed Lai Xin's growth and success. Everyone had always doubted her. She had always depended on her teammates to win. But she had finally taken a victory through her own merit, and a very crucial victory at that. As for the Lai family, they were drenched in sweat. When they saw the birth of the heavenly fire, even the head of the Lai family, who had long abandoned his emotions, could not help but cry too. For the Lai family, they had sacrificed everything in wait for this moment. The supporters of the Saruman snake were roaring madly. Who the hell dared to look down on Saruman's snake? Who said that Saruman's snake could not outfight Aslan? Now they were up 2-0, valor. I seem to recall that a certain someone said that if the Saruman snake was to win 3-0, then that someone would eat 3 bowls of shit. The entire Estina Empire Academy was rolling in laughter. Oh, did someone say that? Haha. Valor, I have a few million audiences as witnesses. 3 bowls okay. Cluck cluck. Next up is the Big Demon King. Be mentally prepared. Everyone burst out laughing. In the journey to success, the Saruman snake was no longer mediocre. They had many fans, growing together, winning together and reaching the finals together. Now, it was already 2-0. The historic moment was coming. Could Wang Zheng paint an exciting ending to his perfect SIG journey? Similarly, the most important and most testing moment had arrived for Lin Feng. The Aslan Empire was too mighty, so mighty that there had been no opportunity for the captain to perform. But now, facing Saruman's snake, facing the Demon King, if Lin Feng could turn the tides, then his reputation in Aslan would never be the same again. He would no longer be just a member of the royal family, he would also be the true savior of Aslan. A leader of the younger generation of Aslan. There was no retreat for this battle. Lai Xin jumped out from the mech, and the entire arena cheered. Of course, it came with whistles too. The treatment for a beauty would, of course, be better. Having come this far, the momentum of the Saruman snake has been completed. Combining the Lai Flame technique and the Sage Arts is something that even a crazy person would never dream of. But Lai Xin dared to and has succeeded. Bolette smiled bitterly while shaking his head. This success was so lucky, however, if it was luck, it was strength too. This courage of finding a way out of an impasse alone was worthy of praise. Wang Zheng has brought a lot to the people around him, commented Sarabujal. Bolette was deeply convinced that right from the beginning, Wang Zheng was fighting alone. He was using his actions as an example. The people around him were all rather talented. When Wang Zheng began to create miracle after miracle, changes began to happen in the hearts of these people. They finally exploded on the stage of this SIG. It might seem to be luck, but this was an eventuality. Many a time, in order to create a miracle, one had to hold on to the last breath. 1 foot in heaven, 1 foot in hell. As a general and a leader, he could see things at much deeper levels. Lai Xin gave everyone a warm hug. She did not care about the heavenly fire technique. The reason why she had fought so hard was not for her family, but rather for her brothers, her teammates. This victory was dedicated to them. Oh, hey, as the injured, I should be getting a longer hug. Zhang Shan was not satisfied yet. Lai Xin smiled charmingly and a small spark appeared at the tip of one of her fingers. Think about it, I will warm you up. You no longer have to worry about this. Zhang Shan shivered a little. Forget it, I'm good. Finally, the last match. The entire arena had gradually calmed down from all the enthusiasm because the last defender of Aslan, Lin Feng, had entered the stage. In fact, the key to victory was this match. Whoever took this win would claim victory. Team battle, it was still dependent on these two. The two peerless heroes of SIG, Wang Zheng and Lin Feng. Today, right here, they would be facing off to be the #1 master of the younger generation, the #1 captain, the greatest king, and so on. The winner takes all. Wang Zheng stood up and walked towards the battlefield. The crucial moment had arrived. The cameras were now on both of them. They were equally composed. There was nothing much to say about Saruman Snake. Their morale was at an all-time high at the moment. The reputation of the Big Demon King needed no further introduction. The third match, Saruman Snake's winning match. If they win this match, Wang Zheng will be crowned god. Let us give a round of applause to this miracle creator of a warrior. The great Demon King. No other sound could be heard both on the inside and outside the arena after Jondi Lilic's roar. Everyone felt that their minds were already in a maximum state of madness. Wang Zheng's name sounded throughout the arena. This man was the spokesperson of miracles. The big screens were showing the highlights of his battles once again. The organizing committee had never missed any details of creating publicity of the momentum. Geesh, not that again. It isn't that interesting anyway. I've only seen those 100 times over. Wang Zheng, invincible. Wang Zheng, I love you. I want to have your babies. Following Wang Zheng's entry, the people outside the arena started to faint. The rowdy atmosphere of SIG was beyond imagination. Those who were not as tenacious could not withstand such fervor. Father, that person is so cool. I want to be like him when I grow up, said an excited 5 or 6-year-old boy who was sitting in the arms of his father. The middle-aged man smiled. Haha. That guy has finally made it. Back then, I was his greatest opponent. Geez, aren't you embarrassed? Don't think it's easy to fool me because I'm a kid. He could take you down with just a finger. The man's ego had been called to question, and by his own son. He was especially upset. Your old man never lies. I'll get him to tell you personally next time he comes. Was old dear not his greatest opponent? The man shook his fist. It was correct. He was once Wang Zheng's greatest opponent, the invincible Black Skull, old dear. Now he was the president of Wang Zheng's fan club back on Earth. Momentum-wise, Saruman Snake had already gained the upper hand. With Wang Zheng's personal strength and the advantage of the 2 earlier victories, the goddess of victory was already smiling on Wang Zheng's team. Special features and momentum were necessary for the introduction of the contestants. No one could compare with Wang Zheng in this aspect. Half the arena was silent, and it was the same outside the arena too. They were from Aslan. They had never seen their national team being crushed to such state before. All they could do was wait. It had already come to this, yet Lin Feng's expression was still so calm. There was even a hint of a smile at the corner of his mouth. In comparison, Wang Zheng's introduction was incredibly exciting and could even be considered a classic introduction. Lin Feng's performances in SIG were just unconvincing. Of course, it could also be because his opponents lacked quality, but facts were still facts. Wang Zheng's opponent is the captain of Aslan's Sword Shield Rose battle team, Lin Feng, commented Jiali. Even she felt the lack of imposing manner. If she had advocated some past titles, it would appear very flat. In comparison to Wang Zheng's ferocious battle record, the results that Lin Feng had achieved internally at Aslan seemed commonplace. However, highlights were still necessary. At least they should not lose on momentum. In the end, everyone was stunned because only one phrase was given for his introduction, X9. What did this mean? The entire arena was silent. A big question mark appeared in everyone's minds. X9? With X as the start, perhaps, there was only the X battle standings? The X battle standings recorded most of the masters and potentials, especially the evaluations of the Earth rank warriors. This was the most reliable system currently. If the younger generation could be listed in the top 100, they could be deemed to have a very bright future. They could break through to heaven rank. Wang Zheng would definitely have been listed in the top 100. After the end of this competition, he would probably be promoted up the standing. But it was still anyone's guess as to what extent. This was because this was dependent on the standings of his opponents and the number of times that he had defeated them. Everyone knew that the X battle standings were not based on 1 or 2 lucky victories. What did it mean to be on the top X10? This was no age limit. It was known as the top 10 Earth rank masters in the current Milky Way alliance. Lin Feng's other identity was the top master of the X battle standing, one of the top Earth rank masters in the world right now and the only one who was under the age of 40 among the top 10 masters. To be exact, Lin Feng was not even 30 yet. There was a saying in the dark world, it was better to meet a pirate than to meet the Grim Reaper. A mech then appeared on the big screens. They were unfamiliar battling scenes. One after another, Earth rank warriors began to fall. That was Li Feng, X9, codename Grim Reaper. This was given by his opponents. He was the only one on the X battle standing that no one wanted to provoke, even those ahead of him. That was Li Feng, X9, codename Grim Reaper. This was given by his opponents. He was the only one on the X battle standing that no one wanted to provoke, even those ahead of him. If he were to advance to heaven rank before age 40, he would be unstoppable. Calm, that was because he was on a different playing field from the rest, even at the beginning. That calm smile was the confidence brought about by the power from the countless battles and victories. Opponent, the stronger the better. Wang Zheng's highlights were all competitions between the academies. However, Lin Feng's highlights were match after match of real battles. To be exact, it was war. Wang Zheng had solely battled against thousands of Zerg. Lin Feng had once taken down an entire pirate ring that was once ranked number 12. The very crazy Disla Bloody Pirates, a well-equipped pirates ring with 5 Earth rank warriors. This was what Lin Feng had accomplished. The whole world was silenced and the eyes of every person in Aslan were burning with flames and confidence. Yes, the Aslan Empire was invincible. This was the true highly anticipated match. Initially, Aslan's morale was very high. Their overbearing auras were unsettling. However, Wang Zheng and Saruman Snake had gradually suppressed Aslan with their superb determination. They thrashed the so-called One Dynasty, the Aslan Empire, into a pulp. This had made Aslan, who had not tasted defeat for a very long time, feel totally powerless. Just when the nation of Aslan was in an unknown state of fear, Lin Feng stepped up. With his incomparable battle results, he safeguarded the pride of the Aslan people. Lin Feng's composure and confidence had awakened the confidence of the Aslan people. Yes, they were the invincible Aslan Empire. The strongest Earth rank warrior. This meant that Lin Feng possessed an Earth rank 5 strength, or something that was close to it. Furthermore, given his experiences and his possession of the power of the major 5 elements, he was stronger in every aspect compared to Wang Zheng. Even if Wang Zheng was the miracle man, what could his X standing be? Top 100, or top 50? These and the top 10 had very decisive differences. Furthermore, everyone knew that one could be not on the list, but those who were in the top 10 were all masters with experience in war zones. Thus, 2 of the strongest warriors of the younger generation facing off in this battlefield was a blessed thing for all audiences. It might be the same for both of them too. Wang Zheng was smiling as well. He had been watching the highlights of Lin Feng's X battle standings intensely. Truly impressive. He knew very well that 1-to-1 was a totally different concept from 1 to 1,000. Obviously, Lin Feng was more experienced in battling than him. This was truly the ace that the Aslan Empire had been nurturing. Perhaps Aslan previously had no intention of exposing this so early so as to protect Lin Feng, as he was already so excellent at such a young age, he would definitely become an eyesore to many of the countries. However, the pressure that Wang Zheng had given Aslan was too great, they needed to fight back. After this revelation, the situation changed once again. The initial one-sided affair in favor of Wang Zheng had now instantly swung back to Lin Feng. This could not be helped because Bolette and the rest were professionals. As such, they understood what X9 meant. The key was that they knew very well how scary this so-called Grim Reaper was. No wonder they could not find any information about this person no matter how hard they tried. They had suspected that he was a secret weapon that some country had been nurturing. But they did not expect it to be Aslan. Arbiter was not the only country in this world that valued the practical experience of the talents. So was Aslan. However, compared to Arbiter's showy display of the talent's abilities, Aslan had played the royalty card instead, not showing signs and being pretentious at the very least. Both of them were now at the stage of mech selection. At their current state, it was impossible to gain any advantage by targeting each other. For them, all they needed to do was bring out their best rhythm and make their opponent give chase. It was no surprise that Lin Feng chose the Knight of Holy Light. The whole world had to admit that Aslan's Holy Light series would definitely start a round of arms reform and competition. They had also prepared for a long time before making a big bang on the SIG stage. In terms of the promotion of the mech, they had already won the world over. What would Wang Zheng's choice be? Everyone was guessing. Atlantis Rune Warrior. Wang Zheng was really great with the Rune Warrior, eliminating the Prince of Atlantis. It was really smashing. Everyone was eager to see the marvelous Rune Warrior once again. Wang Zheng did not hesitate with his mech selection at all, the Knight of Holy Light. In terms of confrontation and performance, especially when used to target the battling methods of the opponent, the Knight of Holy Light was the best option. Both of them were very casual when making their choices of mech, with smiles on their faces. This was a matter concerning 2 federations, a decisive battle that had captured the attention of countless people, yet they were both very relaxed. This smile really makes you embarrassed. If I was in such an atmosphere, my calf and stomach would be cramping right now. That's why you are destined to be a commentator only. It's obvious that both of them are very confident in this match. Initially, I was more inclined towards Wang Zheng. After all, he has more experience. Those experiences gained from recovering from seemingly impossible situations were usually fatal. But now, it seems that Lin Feng has even more experience. From actual battle, they might be equal, but from personal ability perspective, Lin Feng has the absolute advantage. Rumor has it that he is an expert in all the powers of the major 5 elements, a true all-rounded warrior. On the other hand, Wang Zheng, to date, seems to be an expert only in the minor 5 elements. Honestly, I can't think of how he could stand any chance at all. You seem to be saying this before every single match, but every single time, you have been slapped in the face by Wang Zheng. Now tell me, how many bowls of *T have you owed now? Geez, since when am I the one who goes back on a bet? Didn't we say that we would settle the score at the end of the finals? If he wins this time, I'll change my name to Brother Eat *T. If he loses, all bets are off. Haha. Great. I do have millions of witnesses. The commentators from all the countries were using their own ways to tease, to wait. Both Wang Zheng and Lin Feng had entered their mecha and were making adjustments. The Great Demon King versus the Grim Reaper. What kind of sparks would two rather big people spark? Marshall did not know, but he was very nervous. Everyone, I want your full alert. Yes, General, yes, General. After the previous lessons, they knew better too. These two were the most frightening warriors yet. Their crossfire would probably be of biblical proportions. In the end, everyone inside and outside the arena was very nervous. The two contestants were the most relaxed state, however. This was not a pretense. Both Lin Feng and Wang Zheng were really relaxed. Weiyan and Aina were holding hands. The young Weiyan could feel the perspiration on her sister's hand. She was nervous. This was because even Aina did not know that Lin Feng was this strong. Was this the basis of why Kushawan was so confident? Why had she applied so many tricks despite knowing that Lin Feng was so strong? Kushawan could feel Aina's gaze on her. As if reading the doubts in her eyes, she said, never let your opponent guess your cards. Kushawan was using this sig to teach Aina a lesson. If Wang Zheng could beat Lin Feng, then her years as Prime Minister would have been wasted. If he did win, she would not know how to stop it anymore. There was a limit to most things. She was not omnipotent. If the opponent held all the aces, she could not overturn fortune too. Except she would never allow this to happen. Truthfully, both Aina and Weiyan were at a loss as to who they should cheer for. Of course, deep down inside, they knew. As for Donger and the rest, they were naturally on Lin Feng's side. The continuous defeats had already given them cause to be worried. Thus, they could only hope that Lin Feng would thrash Wang Zheng heartily, then overwhelmingly eliminate them in the team battle. However, according to her brother, Lin Feng was invincible in this era. Unless a heaven rank master appeared, no one could defeat him. Besides, as soon as a person reached the peak of Earth rank, even with a heaven rank's complete suppression, they could only fight till the death. Hence, Lin Feng was already in an invincible position. If Wang Zheng lost, everything achieved prior to this would be wasted. Even though the two main members of Saruman Snake had won, it was safe to say that they themselves had suffered some injuries too. From the strengths of the reserves, Sword Shield Rose still had the absolute advantage because Saruman Snake could not even put together a team of 5. Truthfully, there was no retreat for them. Even a draw was unacceptable for Wang Zheng. There was only victory. The two Knights of Holy Light took the stage. They were already drawing endless cheers simply by standing here. The big screens were once again showing the expressions of the two in the mecha. Cool was not enough of a description anymore. Bearing countless hopes, today, we will witness the birth of the strongest of the younger generation. Jondi Lilic's roar signaled the start of the match. Inside the arena, neither Wang Zheng nor Lin Feng were distracted by what was going on around them. The steadiness of these two monsters was probably comparable to none. Their thought patterns were different from those of the average people. The only change was the look in their eyes, from calmness to sharpness. The cheers from everyone were stopping soon. How would these two plan to start? Bang! The two runic mecha exploded almost simultaneously, devoid of any traces of fiery sense. However, the moment the mech thrusted forward, both the ice and fire ability X's had already struck out from Wang Zheng's runic mech. The two powers instantly intertwined around the laser sword. Wang Zheng had clearly become more skilled at using these two repulsive compound powers. On the other side, Lin Feng was also using the same compound ice and fire powers. This was something that he had used before. The two mecha had already struck with the powers of ice and fire simultaneously when they were about 20 meters apart. Rumbling, the entire arena shook as a result. Even before anyone could react, the two mecha had already flown up into the sky, with the help of almost similar powers of lightning and wind. The two mecha looked like the aurora borealis appearing in the sky. Boom, 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 the laser swords struck each other venomously. The energies that covered the sky were shaking so hard that the sky was alternating between brightness and darkness. The two mecha were flashing continuously between the sky and ground. It was almost as if they were teleporting, interchanging their positions continuously. Only by watching the instant slow-motion replay on the big screens could their actions be fully appreciated. The two laser swords struck each other furiously. A smile appeared at the corner of Lin Feng's mouth. A white ball of fire appeared in his left hand. Flames of the blazing angel. Wang Zheng did not evade. An icy shield began to form. The two sources of power struck together. Surging, the two mecha were thrown apart, but when they were about a dozen meters away from each other, they exploded, the engines roared, and the two mecha disappeared again. The mecha appeared on the ground in the center of the field the next moment and Wang Zheng's laser sword slammed down hard. Bang! The flames of the blazing angel on Wang Zheng's left hand was burning. However, the area was more aggressive. The raging flames of the blazing angel were violently absorbing the power of the flames in the air. Tit for tat. The power of ice appeared on Lin Feng's left hand. A mirror-thin defense appeared. Roar! Roaring flames. A smile appeared at the corner of Lin Feng's mouth, mirror reflection. Wang Zheng's flames of the blazing angel struck the ice shield that was within reach, but it unexpectedly bounced back instantly. At the same time, Wang Zheng's lashing leg had already kicked out. Bang! Once again, the two mecha were thrown apart. They glided elegantly, without losing their center of gravity. 20 meters apart, the two mecha stood still. Everyone was quiet as a church mouse. The big screens were showing the expressions of the two pilots. Both seemed to be smiling at the corners of their mouths. They seemed to be enjoying this battle. The interchanging of the power of the five elements was not an issue for either of them. Wang Zheng was not the only person who knew how to use the compound power of ice and fire. Lin Feng could also use mirror reflection and the rest of the powers. On the other hand, confronted with the reverse devouring of the flames of the blazing angel, Wang Zheng's Knight of Holy Light had almost absorbed half of it, and this was using the body to absorb directly. This meant that Wang Zheng's understanding of the ability X was no less than that of Achilles. If he had controlled it merely with spiritual power, the counterattack of the flames of the blazing angel alone would have created trouble for Wang Zheng. These details revealed that these two were superb warriors. Jondi Lilac and the rest of the Earth rank warriors were all enthralled simply by watching this battle. The short exchange was sufficient to reveal that the two of them had better comprehension than others. Lin Feng had initially thought that this mirror reflection would embarrass Wang Zheng a little. Little did he know that it would be so easily diffused by Wang Zheng. It was getting more and more interesting. Suddenly, Lin Feng's Knight of Holy Light darkened, as if all the light had been sucked out. The energy of the laser sword had also become darker in an instant. Gonzala's expression changed dramatically. The darkness of the laser sword had become even deeper and was swaying. Followed closely, the entire mech started to burn in black ripples. At the feet of the Knight of Holy Light, the alloy on the ground started to glow in a strange shade of gray as the black ripples spread out, and this had a surprisingly weathering effect. Lethal dark ripples. The minor five elements were no longer able to satisfy them. The power of darkness. Even the powers of water was unable to erase this aggressive negative power. The power in itself was already very lethal. Not only did it combine with the various absorptions, erosions, and other dark powers, it also included other damaging effects on humans. With Lin Feng's level, it directly eroded everything. Everyone seemed to understand now why Lin Feng had used the nickname Grim Reaper. This killing aura had to be accumulated from numerous battles and the deaths of many people. The power of death. The few million spectators that were somewhat closer could feel that killing aura that not even the energy protection wall could block. Everyone was staring at Wang Zheng. It was at this moment that everyone realized that there was a difference between the two of them. Wang Zheng was facing the X9. Lin Feng was telling Wang Zheng, "What you can do, I can do too. What you cannot, I can too. What you have seen, so have I. What you have not seen, I have seen too." This was an Aslan person showing his might. What to do, what to do. Bang! A ray of holy light shot from Wang Zheng's Knight of Holy Light into the sky. Everyone was blinded by the shaking of the sudden radiance. Holy light, a tribute? Everyone was totally stunned. Wang Zheng seemed to be, this. Achilles and Lai Xin were looking at each other. They were the ones who were most familiar with Wang Zheng. When did he comprehend the power of the holy light? Light and darkness, the two forces were colliding with each other directly. Unexpectedly, a phenomenon of melting ice and snow appeared. When the powers collided, the good and the bad became very distinguishable. An intense, burning phenomenon appeared, except this was a phenomenon of the burning of power. The next moment, the two mecha struck. Bang! The two laser swords struck one another as if they were glued together. These were two of the most mutual promoting and restraining forces, and they surpassed the mutual promotion and restrained forces of the minor five elements. A yin and yang power light ball was born out of the body of the two mecha. As a result of the special attraction, the two were forced into the most intense stalemate. On one side, there was light, and on the other, darkness. Neither of the two forces were giving way to each other. Thus, they were stuck in a dilemma where they could neither advance nor retreat. Just then, the left hand of Lin Feng's Knight of Holy Light suddenly radiated brightly. A light ball started to agglomerate in the left hand of the Knight of Holy Light, and there was absolutely no conflict with its own darkness. Furthermore, it seemed that as a result of the darkness itself, the light was even more brilliant. The degree of difficulty in controlling both light and darkness simultaneously was much higher than controlling ice and fire compound powers. This was something that the others would not even dare to dream of. Just then, the arbiters had strange expressions on their faces. They had always thought that they were stronger than Aslan, or at least on par. The reason why the arbiter battle team had lost was because of their bad luck, or maybe even because of Aslan's home field advantage. However, when they saw the realm that Lin Feng was at, this was definitely a great blow for them. It was like adding salt to the wounds on the arbiter's spiritual powers. For Mars and the rest, their hearts were definitely heavier than their grim expressions. Wang Zheng, if he was given another 5 years. But just then, the left arm of Wang Zheng's Knight of Holy Light Knight turned completely into a burning, black flame. A dark, hellish darkness seeped through from his hand. Space shook momentarily. It was as if there was something wrong with everyone's visions. As a result of the strong control of the major five elements, a force field chaos effect had appeared. However, the two people in the middle of the field seemed to have completely ignored the situation. Marshall's expression changed. These two B-tards. B****tards, what were they thinking? The energy of all the protective walls were surging up madly. With the aid of the G material itself, it was already easy for the pilots to lose control. But with the talent of these two, were they thinking of blowing the arena up into the sky? But the problem was that the arena was being protected by the super energy protection wall. For this battle, they had also made sufficient preparations. Marshall was not an idiot. This level of protection was prepared in accordance to the forbidden level. But what about the pilots? With the loss of energy control and with the protection shield of the Knight of Holy Light, it could be ignored. The two people in the middle of the field were not in a hurry to strike. Both parties were simultaneously controlling two very opposing powers, and they were freely allowing these powers to rise. Even the most amateurish people could feel that this was really tempting fate. If these powers continued to rise wildly, no technical content would remain. Were these two crazy? Crazy or not, no one knew. But these two did not seem to have the intention of stopping. Dark and silver lightning bolts were flashing around the two mecha, colliding continuously. As soon as they collided, they would explode. A tiny electric bomb shot out and hit the energy protection wall. Then a loud explosion broke out on the energy protection wall with an area of about 5 or 6 meters. One could imagine how the two felt in the swirl. Was this the rhythm of perishing together? This was the thought that crossed almost everyone's minds. With Wang Zheng's ruthlessness, he could do it for this battle. He probably knew that Lin Feng's foundation was a little stronger. Forcefully using the powers of the two of them to perish together, he would leave the match to his own teammates. In the eyes of quite a number of people, Saruman Snake was the synonym of madness. Just like the name of their team, the most venomous snake, no one wanted to disturb the hornet's nest. Finally, the two powers were on the verge of losing control, but the two fighters did not seem to hesitate. Judgment of light. Purgatory punishment. That darkness seemed to have absorbed all the flames of the light. Like glittering and bright meteors, the two light masses collided, instantly detonating all the powers that had been in a deadlock. Buzzing, instantly, two distinctively different powers of light and darkness collapsed and energy ripples swept out. With a loud crashing sound, the first layer of the energy protection wall shattered to pieces, sending energy ripples into the air. Following closely, the second layer of the energy protection wall could not block the energy ripples as well and exploded to pieces too. The violent energy ripples swept towards the third layer of the energy protection wall like a tsunami. Everyone had lost the function of their ears and eyes. All five senses had suffered tremendous pressures, and everyone felt that they were losing their consciousness. The entire process only took a matter of seconds. The third layer of the energy protection wall made an ear-piercing sound. Of course, this was just a feeling deep within their hearts since the people could no longer hear anything. Everything surrounding the arena was beginning to crumble and cracks were appearing in a number of places. However, the third layer of the energy protection wall finally blocked the onslaught of the energy waves. With nowhere to release, part of the energy shot to the sky, while the rest bounced back. The inside of the arena was like an energy hell. The violent energy burst lasted for a few minutes. The interior of the arena was devastated and the exterior was also in a huge mess. Many of the spectators who were watching the live match were speechless. Who the bloody hell were these monsters? With the amount of preparation that Aslan had put in, things were still destroyed. If these super warriors were to be let loose, how devastating would their combat power be? No wonder it was said that an Earth-rank warrior was equivalent to a city's combat force. Then what sort of combat force were Wang Zheng and Lin Feng? Perhaps just a step away from the forbidden existence. The energy atomization effect was dispersing gradually. What remained were the wreckages of the mecha. With the rattling sound, the people realized a very serious problem. The mecha would not be able to withstand the devastating energy blasts. The mecha could not withstand it. They had already passed. A mech's defense was still passable against ordinary powers. But these two had used the power of the major five elements of light and darkness. This was basically, right now, no country would even study such defensive measures, as there were only a handful of people who could use such powers. The fog was getting thinner. The two mecha were completely broken. It was obvious that it was totally over. If two super warriors had perished because of this battle, where would the hope for Earth go? What about the future of Aslan? Kashawan looked extremely grim. If she had known that this would be the outcome, she would never have allowed Lin Feng to go into the battle. This was because 100 lives of Wang Zheng could not be compared to that of Lin Feng's. Lin Feng was a very important link to the future of Aslan, and they could not afford to lose him. Aina clenched her teeth, holding on tightly to Wei Yin's trembling hand. Wei Yin appeared to be unable to hold out any longer. For the young princess, she hoped that the world was a peaceful and wonderful one. Many a time, this was how she found escape. She wanted perfect endings for everything, but a battle like this. She could understand that this was the honor of the warriors, the honor of the country, but she could not endure it. Aina held her tightly. She was giving strength to Wei Yin. Regardless of the outcome, they had to face it. Even if they were afraid, they still had to face it. In life, they were often left with no choice. Regrets, Aina did not know, but she knew that if Wang Zheng had no regrets, she wouldn't have any regrets either. If Wang Zheng had died in battle for her, she would not live either. She was a human before a princess. It was because she had such determination that she had such courage. The energy fog had completely dispersed. The big screens immediately went for a close-up. The two mecha were completely scrapped. It felt like they would collapse if the wind blew. Dead silence. No one had expected this outcome. No one was willing to accept this outcome. How could this happen? Achilles and the rest looked grim too. This energy level was totally out of control. Were these two out of their minds? Neither of them even tried to control it. If Wang Zheng had wanted to gamble with his life, what about Lin Feng? Had he gone mad too? Bang! The sound was not loud, but it shocked everyone. Lin Feng blasted open the cockpit with one punch. The Knight of Holy Light mech turned into scrap metal in an instant, while Lin Feng floated in mid-air surrounded by golden lights. The audience was silent. It looked as though they were trying to control themselves and stay calm, but in the next second, all citizens of Aslan present in the arena jumped up and shouted the loudest they ever had since the start of the competition, violently pounding their chests. They were shouting even if they had no voice. The shouts could be heard from outside the arena, coming from the spectators in the Aslan Empire. In this moment, every single Aslan citizen was proud of their country. These were the fighters that defended the Aslan Empire. The hoarse and passionate voices from the mouths of people of Aslan. This was Aslan's national anthem, the Great Aslan, great and free. This was the country of hope for humans. Rank as spiritual power. This was rank as spiritual power from a human fighter. This was something the Atlanteans could never compare themselves with. That radiance, that feeling, the current Lin Feng felt more like the chosen son of God. For Earth, this blow was a critical one. They were not afraid of failure, but they would never be able to accept Wang Zheng's death. Wang Zheng was Earth's hope. As long as he was alive, all youths on Earth would charge forward, not caring about consequences, but the whole world was separated like in light and darkness. On one side was Aslan's cheering, and on the other, it was silent despair. Bang! Following the loud bang, Wang Zheng's night of holy light blew into pieces. Wang Zheng, radiating golden rays, floated and casually swept away the projection device surrounding him. Those nearing the edge of despair suddenly climbed out from the depths of hell and greedily breathed in fresh air. Suddenly, the whole arena stood up, the cheers filling the skies. Wang Zheng and Lin Feng did not rush to attack. They could feel that the cheers were for them. In this moment, the whole world was watching them. This was worthy of the strongest SIG finals in history. This can blind titanium eyes. What kind of monster is this? This is the strongest super soldier, surpassing human limits. Slap me, I must have been hypnotized. Darn it, illusion, must be an illusion. 2. Fly, are they still human? Jasper whispered to himself. You fool, is that the main point? Yan Xiaoshu kicked Jasper. This fool, numerous ability X users were able to float. The issue was, their defensive abilities were stronger than the mecha, and the light surrounding them was clearly not to light up the area around them. Warm-up is over, please go ahead, said Lin Feng. Wang Zheng smiled. I won't hold back then. Suddenly, everyone felt that their brains were struck by wind. That was a goddamn warm-up. Were they insulting their intelligence? The ones that took the greatest blow were the competitors, and they felt like they were from a world different from the both of them. It made sense for Lin Feng, as he was hiding his strength, but Wang Zheng, not many people would have known that when he first entered SIG, Wang Zheng was clearly not this strong. The pace at which this guy grew was incredulous. This was terrifying talent. Not mentioning other people, even Lin Feng himself thought that his own talent was beyond imagination, and no one in this world could be compared to him. However, after seeing Wang Zheng, even Lin Feng felt slightly jealous. When SIG first began, Wang Zheng's ability would not have allowed him to last more than 1 minute in this fight, but now, they were of the same footing. Wang Zheng raised both of his hands. Buzz! 2 golden wheels appeared above his hands and expanded to around 5 meters, forming gigantic, golden wheels. Suddenly, 2 golden wheels shot out. Golden Wheel Battle King? Were they dreaming? The 2 golden wheels violently sliced towards Lin Feng. Their movements were unpredictable. Lin Feng frowned slightly, and in his hand, a golden energy sword appeared. He did not panic, and struck when the golden wheels got near him. Boom, boom, the 2 golden wheels bounced off and flew towards the ground. Rumble. The alloy floor was severely damaged by both competitors' energies. When the wheels struck the ground, it exploded immediately, and 2 craters appeared. The whole arena was quiet. They did not know what to say. As for the people of Manalasuo, they became Wang Zheng's diehard fans. Human form Golden Wheel Battle King. This was goddamn unbelievable. Shing, shing, 2 golden wheels appeared and struck towards Lin Feng. At the same time, 2 more golden wheels appeared from Wang Zheng's hands. With 2 at the front and 2 at the back, the 4 wheels lashed out towards Lin Feng. It was easy for the wheels move fast, but making them go slow, and making the attack unpredictable, was difficult. Golden wheels attacking from all sides. Suddenly, the 4 golden wheels struck at the same time, and it seemed like they would slice Lin Feng. However, in an instant, Lin Feng attacked with both swords and legs, using 4 moves in 1 moment. Bang! This time, he did not use the force of the rebound, but his own strength to shatter the 4 golden wheels. In terms of understanding of energy, Lin Feng could be said to be stronger than Wang Zheng, and definitely not weaker. Suddenly, 2 golden arrows floated around Lin Feng. Shing, shing. The two arrows attacked Wang Zheng, and he did not dare to carelessly evade them. Spiritual control was used for these kinds of attacks, and maneuvers were part of the basics. With the energy sword in hand, he struck when the arrows got close. Boom, boom, the two arrows exploded. A smirk appeared on Lin Feng's face. Not bad, it seemed it was worth it for him to display his full strength for the first time in front of everyone. Looking at Wang Zheng, who was cautiously on guard, Lin Feng could only think, nice gaze and good perseverance, he had yet to give up on hope. It was a pity that he did not understand what X9 was, and what it meant to be one of the 10 strongest Earth rank fighters. Shing, 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 numerous arrows appeared behind Lin Feng, 5, 10, 15, 20. Beyond that, no one wanted to keep count of the arrows anymore. The cheers died down as the arrows filled the area. This was beyond what could be used to describe humans. Lin Feng was currently displaying the strength of X9. While Wang Zheng's understanding and direction were correct, due to the gap of 7 or 8 years between them, even with the same talent, the distance between them was undeniably huge. Not to mention, the 7 to 8 year period was where progress occurred most rapidly. The current clash between Wang Zheng and Lin Feng was unfair, just like Guan Yu against Qin Chong. It was not a matter of choice. Those that cheered for Wang Zheng's spectacular defense were now completely silent. What could he use to defend against the countless arrows? The biggest difference between them was that Wang Zheng's spiritual power was B upper rank, while Lin Feng's is A rank. Jondi Lilac, I Zhengyang, Dina Atlas, and the rest knew that if Wang Zheng had A rank spiritual power, the winner would be hard to determine, but now, with this gap, any effort would be futile. 1,000 arrows piercing heart. With the strength of an A- rank fighter, there was so much Lin Feng could do, but he did not attempt to suppress Wang Zheng. He let Wang Zheng do whatever he wanted to try. This showed Lin Feng's strength. The Aslan people had a certain level of pride. The ability to control the arrows to this extent was something acquired by Lin Feng in the recent 2 years. As a super soldier, he had to learn various abilities, from focused techniques to wide area techniques, and the technique of 1,000 arrows piercing heart came from Lin Feng's no distinction battle strategy. The moment the technique was used, it blinded everyone. It would be impossible to dodge an attack with so many arrows. This technique, which incorporated both ability X and physical technique, was enough to defeat all SIG members present. However, Wang Zheng smiled. Facing the countless arrows, he did not dodge. Rumble, rumbling, nearly a fifth of the arrows blasted near him, causing the area around him to be filled with explosions. Even the pride of Aslan's engineers was shattered to smithereens. Instead of caring about the stage, they were more concerned about Wang Zheng. Lin Feng was curious as well. Even though the attack couldn't be evaded, since this attack was also meant to be a method to show off, it was impossible for Wang Zheng to just stand there. Suddenly, the whole arena stirred, countless expressions of shock could be heard. The huge screen showed a close-up of Wang Zheng, and on his face was a smile. Lin Feng, aren't you underestimating me too much? A wide area attack like this, other than aesthetics, it's not much of a use. The golden aura was radiating from Wang Zheng, and the attack by the arrows seemed to be useless. What was different was that on the stage of finals, against an A- rank ability user, Wang Zheng had arrogance of the likes that was never seen before. Lin Feng was stunned, and could not believe what he was hearing. He was being looked down on, and by a B rank fighter. Wang Zheng flew up. They locked gazes and sparks flew. Indeed, Lin Feng was very, very proud. An unrivaled genius with limitless resources, the effort that he had put in, experiencing countless challenges to obtain the strength he had today, the pride that he had was indescribable. Wang Zheng was the same. Taking one step at a time to reach the point he was at today, the price he had to pay was far greater than Lin Feng's. He never gave up and never admitted defeat. He could die standing, but never cower to live. The pride he had did not lose to Lin Feng's. Growling, growling, shing, Wang Zheng vanished, then a golden ray lashed out and came in front of Lin Feng. A punch lashed out, and Wang Zheng returned it with another punch. Boom, 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 in mid-air, both of them clashed, and each clash was explosive. The energy waves were felt everywhere. Both of them had the ability to use both ability X and physical techniques together, and the golden aura was clearly the 5 elements, an even stronger energy. It was clear that Wang Zheng's strong suit was physical techniques, but Lin Feng did not lose to him, and his aura was much more aggressive, and it felt that it could overwhelm Wang Zheng any time. However, for some reason, this did not happen. Jondi Lilac was transfixed on the match, and a number of people were like him as they were not far from the two competitors, and what they were trying to pursue was to reach the current level of Wang Zheng and Lin Feng. What they would see from the both of them would allow Jondi Lilac and the rest to reach that level much faster. Even Lear was transfixed on them. It has to be said that he was a meticulous person, as well as observant and able to bear patiently. Even though he looked down on them, after each match, he would closely analyze the match. Even after the matches were over, he would not rest easy, and as one of the losers, he was the only one that did not give up training and trying. He was indeed a strong person, and he had found peace in the past few days as well. Lear did not feel that he had no talent. There had to be a difference between him and Wang Zheng, not to mention Lin Feng, who had the best resources, something which only Aslan could provide. How about Wang Zheng? The biggest difference could be the type of technique. Physical techniques were commonly found, and Wang Zheng must have had a miraculous encounter. To find out whether that was the truth was not possible. The Wang Zheng today was different from the Wang Zheng of the past. This made Lear realize something. The Aries art that he had inherited is not strong enough. This was the biggest problem. Lear was confident in his abilities and perseverance, but it seemed like he would have to seek out the saints as they must have stronger techniques. Finally, including Lear, a few people realized the problem. Lin Feng was not trying to be nice, as an A- rank would definitely overwhelm a B rank. If Lin Feng was trying to test the waters, he would definitely not remain this nice after Wang Zheng's counter. There was only one possibility. Lin Feng's spiritual power was unable to suppress Wang Zheng. Wang Zheng was now one with his spiritual power, with no vulnerabilities. The strength of spiritual power could only harass him, and was useless against Wang Zheng now. A rank ability X could allow for stronger attacks, such as 1,000 arrows piercing heart. It was a pity because, like Wang Zheng had said, this kind of attack had no effect on him. Wang Zheng's physical techniques had surpassed everyone's, but currently, it was not possible to know his level in physical techniques. Lin Feng beat Wang Zheng in terms of spiritual power, but Wang Zheng's mastery of physical techniques surpassed Lin Feng's. This could not be observed but simply watching his moves, as they are merely the forms of the attacks. The true understanding of physical techniques weighs on the inside, which referred to the understanding of the inner universe. Wang Zheng had displayed this in his previous fights. Thanks to the fight with Dina Atlas, Wang Zheng was enlightened, and together with Charcoal's teachings, it could be said that Wang Zheng was a different person. The improvements, however, were not obvious, as the rise of physical techniques occurred in the past few years. From technology's perspective, there was no method to measure its strength, and they relied on the judgment of Ability X. Lin Feng remained confident as he believed in his vision and the resources possessed by the Aslan Empire, while Wang Zheng's strength came from Charcoal's judgment. He believed that while Charcoal may not have any strength, Charcoal was definitely not a liar, and his understanding and eye for physical techniques was definitely correct. At the beginning, when changing the primordial regression technique, Wang Zheng was still cautious about believing him, but now, as he understood the inner universe, he gained a better understanding about the origins of energy. He trusted that Charcoal was a good teacher, even though he may not be humble. Bang! Lin Feng's strong spiritual explosions had some effect. Lin Feng was extremely smart. He had not used it before this. Then he suddenly went all out in one strike, and the difference made Wang Zheng's entire body shudder and pause for a moment. Meanwhile, Lin Feng would definitely not miss out on this opportunity. He hit Wang Zheng's chest with a clean strike. The attack shook the heavens and could be heard clearly by everyone. Wang Zheng's body violently flew backwards, seeming like it would fly out of the arena. Lin Feng's left hand stopped, forcefully using the gravitational field to drag Wang Zheng, pulling his whole body up. Boom, 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 boom. The violent attacks trapped Wang Zheng. As attacks by all limbs surrounded him, Wang Zheng could defend against the attacks at the beginning, but towards the end, he gave up defending. Lin Feng's attacks gave him no opportunity to retaliate. Bang! An uppercut threw Wang Zheng into the sky, and in the next moment, Lin Feng appeared above Wang Zheng and smashed him using both fists. Bang! Wang Zheng crashed into the ground like an asteroid. Lin Feng raised both his hands and a giant, golden energy ball formed, endlessly taking in the energy around them. A strong body and unrivaled spiritual power were enough to let Lin Feng to do whatever he wanted. The strong energy disturbed the whole arena. When too much energy is concentrated at a single point, it would result in spatial imbalance. Growling, shing, the ball of energy crashed towards Lin Feng. Buzz, bang, the ground of the arena was completely destroyed. As the attack went into the depths of the arena, even the energy shield wall had no effect, revealing the underground foundations. No one knew how deep the crater was. The whole arena was silent. Looking at Lin Feng, who was in the air, humanity's top Earth-rank fighter had always been a legend. It could be said that to most people, they were a mysterious existence, and only the leaders of various countries would have seen them. As the news about such people were sealed, there were many rumors, and this is the first time such strength was showcased in front of the public in a competition. After warming up, Lin Feng felt good as there are not many opponents who could withstand his warm-up. Everyone did not know what to say about the crater caused by human hands. The commentators from various countries were silent as well. Wang Zheng, it seemed like it was a complete hit. Did this mean he was blown to smithereens? At this time, a ray of light appeared from the crater. A golden ball of light charged up into the sky and charged towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng subconsciously evaded it, but a figure appeared next to him, Wang Zheng. A punch struck Lin Feng's face. Lin Feng flew away, hitting the energy shield wall. The clothes on Wang Zheng's body were in tatters, but his condition seemed to be well, and Lin Feng was fine as well. When he wiped his mouth with his right thumb, there was some blood. It seemed like it has been a long time since he last saw his own blood. It had always been the blood of his enemies. Wang Zheng smiled, and it was such a radiant smile. This was the first time he faced an opponent that caused him so much despair, and he could feel the monstrous energy coming from his opponent. Even the primordial regression technique was excited. His opponent had hit him over 100 times, and he had only retaliated once. Being at the losing end was definitely not his style. Lin Feng flew in front of Wang Zheng. He could see that while Wang Zheng seemed to be beaten badly, his attacks did not have any real effect. This proved one thing. His opponent understood the inner universe. This was a milestone. It meant nothing to reach rank A, what was more important was to understand the inner universe. Once understood, it meant that he was one step into the domain of the heaven rank. Only through understanding the inner universe could humans truly get rid of their fragile bodies. In recent years, it was thought that it would be Lin Feng and only him, but now Wang Zheng, who was younger than him, had appeared. After understanding the inner universe, victory was not determined simply by the mere difference of class and spiritual power. Wang Zheng knew as well that the punch he had thrown could have been evaded by Lin Feng, but he did not do so, and took the attack head-on. This meant that he wanted to test how strong the attack would be. With this in mind, it would seem that the Lin Feng's understanding was not far from his. Wang Zheng himself had a miraculous encounter, and he always felt that his luck was decent, until he met Lin Feng. It was the first time he felt that someone could be of the same level as him, or even stronger. Wang Zheng did not dislike it. He liked this feeling. Hot here and now, he would definitely not give up. No matter how strong the opponent may, he would definitely win. Lin Feng smiled as well. Was it jealousy? That was wrong. At Lin Feng's level, it was more of a mutual appreciation. It was lonely to be an expert. The higher they climbed, the more lonely it would get. It seemed like everything they desired could be easily obtained, and he no longer had any other pursuits other than the challenge of helping Aslan rule over humans. However, after seeing Wang Zheng, it awakened the part of him that relentlessly pursued after strength. Buzzing, Lin Feng's hands were radiating light, and it was the same for Wang Zheng. Energy gathered on both of their palms. It was the kind of strength that made people tremble, and both of them signified the limits that everyone aimed to achieve. Dina Atlas' expression was calm. This was a restriction that Atlantis was helpless against. While they possessed spiritual power and weapons, They had grown further and further away from true strength. What Wang Zheng and Lin Feng had achieved was true strength. However, there was a difference between what Lin Feng and Wang Zheng had achieved. In the next second, both of them attacked. Wang Zheng led with a punch, hitting Lin Feng. Lin Feng's handsome face became distorted, but he did not avoid the attack. He returned the attack with a punch on Wang Zheng's chin. In the next moment, the two of them went insane and gave up on defense, directly attacking the opponent, each strike exploding upon contact. Bang! Both of them got hit at the same time and dropped from the sky. The next second, they attacked each other at the same time again. Boom! With the earth-shaking explosion, ravines formed beneath their feet. It resulted in slight recoil, and no one took a step back. Bang! 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 Bubble! Bubble! The golden rays burst out and energy ripples exploded around them. The whole world was silent. It was impossible to explain this. The whole arena was silent as these were attacks that they had never seen before, physical attacks of this level. Even the mecha could not take hits from these energy ripples, so how could their bodies withstand them? Biological technology, modification techniques, no matter what technique it may be, there was no way to withstand it. Was this Aslan's true power, the ultimate understanding of human limits? How about Wang Zheng? Abandoning the mecha, it seemed like they had gone back in time, back to the roots of humanity. Bang! As both of their palms met each other, a golden barrier surrounded both of them. Two different golden rays collided with each other, and golden energy ripples constantly exploded near them. Streams of energy shot out and destroyed the last energy shield wall. Marshall's expression was solemn. The energy shield was prepared for even heaven rank, and at the same time could defend against some forbidden weapons. The problem was that the current energy shown in the match was not enough to go against heaven rank energy, and could be controlled by a heaven rank. Although the two on the field possessed strength nearing heaven rank, they have no idea how to control it, and now he could only pray as it was too late to evacuate the crowd. Bolette and Sarabujal looked at each other and saw the look in each other's eyes. The two of them were doing it on purpose. They knew that the arena was unable to defend against energy, so they chose the method of mutual harm, to exhaust their opponent and at the same time to test out a basic skill of a fighter, to take a beating. To possess such strength, and to be able to see the big picture, this was no longer a super soldier, but a general. One of them was from Aslan. Bolette and Sarabujal could only be envious, but the other was from Earth. At this highest moment, there was an earthling. Bang! The golden balls of light would lose some energy each time they expanded. Wang Zheng and Lin Feng's expressions would become more serious each time as this is a clash between their energies. It was a bare-handed battle. Kushawin frowned. A battle at this stage was no longer something she could control. Kushawin was now curious. For Lin Feng to reach this level, he had used up resources accumulated by the Aslan Empire over the years, together with the right conditions, but how about Wang Zheng? This guy was only slightly above 20, and younger than Lin Feng by a few years. How had he managed to do it? It would have been fine to not have thought about it, but now that she thought about it, it sent a chill down her spine. If he was being backed by an organization, the strength of the organization would have to be immense, but if there was no backing, his talent and luck. Regardless of which it may be, Kushawin felt pressured. Kushawin saw the focus and admiration in Aina's eyes, and suddenly, Kushawin realized that she had missed an opportunity. If she had known that Wang Zheng was this strong, and had recruited him earlier, Aslan would have acquired a forbidden weapon with unlimited potential. However, it was far too late, and Lin Feng would not have allowed her to. What Wang Zheng wanted, and hoped to have, was something Kashan and Lin Feng would object to. If the Aslan Empire were to fall to the stage where it had to sell out its princess to recruit talents, Aslan would not be far from its demise. This was a matter of pride and the bottom line. Hence, Lin Feng would never back away, and today only one person would be left standing. Bang! The golden rays were constantly exploding as Wang Zheng and Lin Feng flew out, smashing against the energy shield wall, with blood flowing from the corners of their mouths. No matter how strong their bodies may be, they were made of flesh, and deep down, they were both insane, living with their own beliefs, doing what they wanted without caring about the future. Actually, only those who made full use of the present would have a future. After a battle of attrition, both of them were in a bad condition. Wang Jung knew that his condition was slightly worse as the age of 21 was not the peak for a fighter. After the exchange of blows, they could get a grasp of each other's strength and condition. When it came to their fighting abilities, even in a bare-handed fight, ordinary ability X or physical techniques could not defeat them. It would either be a battle to the death where one of them to tire would himself out, or through the use of a sure kill technique. Wang Jung had a trump card. Even though it was against Lin Feng, he had the confidence, atomic blasting. The final battle, a battle with no regrets. The moment Wang Jung's eyes became filled with killing intent, Lin Feng adopted a defensive stance. Even an average person could sense the smell of death. This was the first time Lin Feng had adopted a defensive stance in a battle. The hearts of the leaders that survived the qualifiers skipped a beat. They were reminded of Wang Jung's one-shot kill against Chichin Nakai. Undoubtedly, Wang Jung was now stronger than before, and they could not defend against Wang Jung's attack in the past. Lin Feng, could he do it? Jondi Lilac found himself to be nervous. His hands were trembling. How could such a thing happen? He was Jondi Lilac, but at this moment, he could not control his emotions. It felt as if time had stopped. Wang Jung's attack was his last resort. To reach this stage, it could be said that his mastery played a key role. Up till now, no one was able to defend against it, be it Chichin Nakai, Aragorn, or Dina Atlas. But now, Wang Jung is facing against Lin Feng. Against Wang Jung's sure kill ability, Lin Feng did not attempt any attacks. What did this mean? Was it confidence? No one knew. Wang Jung took a deep breath, and the world around him felt like it disappeared. With himself at the center, it was like a spinning universe, with each atom filled with enormous energy, and Wang Jung was in total control. In this moment, disruptions in spiritual power could not be felt, but the strange thing was, immense pressure spread beyond the arena, and those who were slightly weaker felt breathless. In the arena, a violent storm of energy blew Lin Feng's hair. This was caused by the energy field. The problem was that Wang Jung had yet to launch his attack, and simply his aura had caused such violent results. Lin Feng's face showed a crazed smile and excitement. It had been such a long time since he felt like this. This was the smell of death. Atomic blasting, inner universe technique, Ho. Golden rays blasted out from Lin Feng's body and violent energy erupted from his insides. Not enough, it needed to be stronger, even stronger. On Wang Jung's side, it was filled with golden rays. Stronger, even stronger, it had to be able to kill his opponent. In this moment, everyone in the arena subconsciously stood up. This was the moment where victory would be decided. Who was the strongest, Wang Jung or Lin Feng? Wang Jung raised his left hand. It was a simple motion, but it felt like the arena was floating. It felt like an illusion for everyone. It was spatial reversal. Lin Feng licked his lips. He could feel the pressure, and felt threatened. His current energy was not enough, it needed to be stronger, even stronger. Currently, he was not able to defend against it. An A-rank fighter would not be able to, he needed to be even stronger. The prelude to the storm. Even though he was weaker in terms of spiritual power, and had constantly been overwhelmed, Wang Jung had energy which filled the entire arena. Gonzalez and the rest could not help but shudder. This was an attack from nightmares, and definitely a nightmare for the whole of SIG. How many people would survive such an attack was simply up to luck now. This was reason for Wang Jung's title, Great Demon King. All around Wang Jung, the color of space began to darken. This was due to spatial collapse. The Wang Jung now was different from the one at the qualifiers. Against Lin Feng, he did not want to strike twice, and he had to make the attack even stronger, even if it meant forsaking his arm. Lin Feng extended both of his arms and closed his eyes. There was no point in using any flashy moves to dodge such an attack. Be it illusory or spatial techniques, it would be useless as an attack like this would strike through space, and trying to dodge it would mean seeking death. Wang Jung, Lin Feng roared. The heavens shook as he opened his eyes, and it seemed like Wang Jung had awakened from his deep slumber as well. The gaze pierced through the air. In Wang Jung's eyes, the universe seemed to exist, and his right hand casually pointed. The movement was slow, but it had nothing to do with space or time. Hong, 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 the layers of space began to collapse, devouring everything like a great beast. Lin Feng's face became white, but as the leader of Aslan, his eyes were sharp. A circular shield formed in front of his hands. A complicated energy shield formed. In the center was light and darkness, and surrounding it was the minor 5 elements. Heaven and Earth Axis Formless Formation. This was the strongest 5 elements defense developed by the Aslan Empire. It could be deemed as absolute defense. The two streams of energy finally collided, and in an instant, everyone lost consciousness. Time froze. It was as if the tape was jammed, unable to move forward, unable to breathe, and unable to move. The only ones who could move were the two of them. Wang Zheng was using everything he could to push atomic blasting forward. This was the first time that his attack was blocked and he could not move it forward. Lin Feng gritted his teeth. Blood was flowing from his mouth, ears, and nose, making him appear exceptionally crazy. Not a step back. This step signified Aslan's future, the Empire's pride. This meant more to him than his life. It was the reason he was alive. Feng, remember this symbol. This is Aslan's crest. You must fight for her, she is the only the Lin family has. Don't cry, your mother is very happy, even though you might not see it. Even in heaven, I would be proud of my son. You must defend Aslan like a mountain. Everyone had their own purpose for living. For some, it was money, fame, or women, but in Lin Feng's world, he lived for the pride of Aslan. Roar, roar, the clothes on Lin Feng's body were blasted away, his hair messy. The heaven and earth axis formation was crazily running, forming a small universe of its own. No one could hope to break through Aslan's defense. That body, full of wounds, countless wounds, was this Aslan's prince? What kinds of battles would leave wounds such as these? Bang! The release of energy caused the whole arena to be flooded with violent golden energy. After an unknown amount of time, everyone felt like they could breathe normally again, finally. Wang Zheng, Lin Feng, were both still there. The only thing was that both bodies were badly beaten. It did not feel that they were in dire straits, and instead the aura of a true battlefield could be felt from both of them. Wang Zheng could no longer raise his right hand. Meanwhile, Lin Feng raised his head. This was the first time he had felt that the sky was so blue. Roar! Following Lin Feng's roar, the people of Aslan went completely crazy. Everyone knew that Wang Zheng's final resort had been blocked.